Hey there, hope you're doing well. My name is Wells Westmoreland. Today I'm going to be doing a live dispensary SEO demo for Share Cannabis in Springfield, Illinois. We'll be looking at how we can help them rank higher in organic search and in Google's local map pack, and ultimately get more foot traffic to their store from organic search. Obviously, to build a full dispensary SEO strategy, I would need a few hours, but in this video, what we'll do is we'll walk through all the key buckets that matter for dispensary SEO, and we'll even make a quick action plan that Share can implement that, again, it's not comprehensive, but if they were to implement it, I almost guarantee they're going to see an increase in foot traffic. So when it comes to the Springfield market, it's a mid-sized city, so about 110K people in the city. However, there is a lot of dispensary demand in the city. So just the keyword dispensary Springfield IL gets 2.5K searches every single month. And that does not include all the different variants of it, like Springfield IL dispensary, which gets almost 1,000 searches a month, or the people who are looking up dispensary near me that we can't really see through a keyword tool because obviously that would be the volume for the entire nation. Point is, there's a lot of dead demand in this city. And so for a business ranking in the top 3 in the local map pack, the Google local map pack, they're going to be exposed to a lot of new customers every single month if they're able to that ranking. So that's kind of an overview of the market. So the reason why I chose this dispensary for this demo is that this particular market is winnable. Winnable meaning we can get to the top 3 right here. Getting the top 3 in the in the local pack, which is kind of like this little section with businesses in it, is the best thing you can do for your business if you're a retail store, because for any sort of local query, like a place-based query or a near me query, like dispensary near me or dispensary Springfield, the first thing that comes up is this Google local pack, which typically shows 3 different businesses by default, as well as a map. And so if you can get top 3 right here, you have premium real estate. Now, obviously, there will be sometimes ads above that. This looks like it's for, Stringy Law. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but still, apart from ads though, this is the best real estate you can get in the results. So the reason why I chose this market is because we have a dispensary ranking number 3 here that has less than 500 reviews on it. Our dispensary that we're looking at here, Share Cannabis, they have almost that amount. So they have 442. Whereas Stringy Law has 461. Pretty small gap. Also, they're not getting many reviews per month. So let's look at the last month here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, about 6 reviews a month, right? Or at least 6 reviews in the past month. So apart from the volume of reviews that you have, what also matters is your velocity. So how many reviews are you getting every single month, and also the quality as well. AKA the star rating, the number of stars out of 5 that you have, also are your reviews in depth, that kind of thing. But the main thing is the velocity. The velocity is the most important metric here. And so even if someone has more reviews than you do, if you can get a better review velocity than them, which shows that you're kind of overtaking them or that you're currently the better business in the market because you're getting more reviews, you can actually leapfrog them in the local pack. And so here we have a dispensary that's just getting 6 reviews a month and only has a few more reviews than our target business, right, that we're trying to rank. And so therefore, if we were to outdo them a little bit on the review thing, and then also do everything else involved with dispensary SEO to an elite level, we can claim a top 3 spot in this map pack for this keyword. So I do really fast want to look at, I did a scan of them here. So this right here is something I always do for local SEO. This is a local SEO heat map. It shows where a business ranks in the local pack in different areas. So this is for Share Cannabis right here. And it's centered, this grid's actually centered on their business. And Springfield is here at the very top of the grid. So they actually are performing pretty well, especially in the southeast portion in the middle of the grid. So right around their actual location, the number 1. They're also number 3 in a variety of areas over here, down to the southeast. But you'll see as we move up to Springfield, the number 4, number 5, number 6. And so they're not very visible. They're not getting, sort of the choice visibility for people actually in Springfield looking for a dispensary. And that's where the opportunity for SEO lies, is like, how can we get them from dominating locally in other areas to actually dominating more in the main metro area, in the main like core city area with the highest population density, that kind of thing. So, obviously, based on these results, there's an opportunity for them to jump up. And also, we see there's some real estate here to capture still. There's some visibility we want to capture in Springfield. So with that being said, how do we actually get there? So the first thing that matters, the first bucket of SEO that matters, is the Google Business Profile. I just call it the business profile for simplicity, or the profile, because I don't want to say that term again and again. And three things matter for the profile. Reviews, as we just discussed, so volume or velocity x volume x quality, right? So the more reviews you're getting per month, and also the most reviews you have, and then also the quality reviews. So how many stars out of 5 are you getting on the rating? Are people giving an in-depth review? Are they adding photos to their reviews? Those things all matter. The main thing, though, as we discussed, is velocity. And then also other things that matter for the profile are completeness, and then also media freshness. So looking at let's see here. Let's find Share Cannabis. So review wise, let's look at their velocity. They're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some of these are older. About 8, because it edited. So I'll say 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll say 7 a month, right? Roughly. Okay. And so decent velocity, a little bit higher than Shangri La. Could be better though, right? If we get 10 or 12 a month, or even 15 a month, we could take over this market much faster. Okay. So and then completeness is sort of what it sounds like, right? Is your profile complete? It is here. Some businesses don't have something added, like they're missing a phone number, they're missing an address, something stupid like that. But most businesses have that down, and obviously Share Cannabis has that down as well. Also, media freshness as well. So, are you constantly uploading new photos to your profile? We can see here, right, that they are uploading some. We have 2 years ago, 3 months ago, 2 years. A lot of older ones, although we just see 3 months ago as well. So it looks like they're uploading, media now and then. What I recommend is uploading around 5 photos a month. Although you can just do like a batch of 15 or 20 every 3 months. It's kind of, that can be easier. So yeah, they're not doing too bad there, but they benefit from doing it more. And here's why: Google's looking at which businesses are showing the best or the most recent activity. So which businesses are responding to the reviews, which businesses are uploading new photos, that kind of thing. It shows Google that you are currently active in that market. And so the more recency signals you can give Google, the better when it comes to your rankings in the local pack. So yeah, for this bucket, my 2 recommendations are: number 1, respond to your reviews. Number 2, try to get more reviews. So probably implement a review acquisition system. And number 3, upload some fresh media and make a schedule for doing that every few months. So let's see here. Respond to reviews, implement review acquisition system. And for this, have employees ask customers. Don't include employee names in the reviews. Google is actually cracking down on that. It's kind of a signal that you're using an organized effort to get reviews, which can be seen as against their policy. They have a policy against incentivizing customers to leave reviews, and so you can still do that, but you want to make sure that the actual review has no evidence of that happening. And if you have some businesses, what they do is they have their employees ask for reviews, and they have customers include the employee's name, that way they can give each employee credit for how many reviews they got. And so Google knows that, so they're cracking down on businesses that have a lot of reviews with employee names in them, which is why I'm recommending you don't do that right here. And then also do include, actually, here we go. Include your keywords, dispensary, Springfield, in your responses. Okay, and then also upload 10 to 20 photos every 3 months or 5 per month. All right, so that's how we're gonna be able to improve upon this. The next thing that matters is functionality. So is the dispensary's website actually usable, and does it provide a good mobile experience too? It's not usually a big thing. A lot of, as long as your site loads fast, it's okay. But if you have a really slow website, you will kind of see a decline in your actual website performance in the organic results, like in the regular blue link rankings, like um, down in here, right? And if you see a decline down here, you might also see a decline in the Google local pack, just because it ties the two together, right? They tie your profile to your website and vice versa. So your goal is to make sure that both properties are high quality and also that they're aligned. But what I do here is I just put the actual URL into PageSpeed Insights. And as we can see here, over the past 28 days, it's passing all of the core Web Vitals assessments. So this kind of looks at different metrics that indicate how fast your site loads, how good of an experience it provides. This is about how fast your biggest element, your largest content, paints or loads on the screen, or how fast it's visible. FCP is about how fast the first element is painted on the screen. And so again, as long as you're seeing mostly green here, you're good. We may see something down below here that says something to the contrary. Oftentimes, Google's PageSpeed Insights tool struggles with age gates. So if you have an age gate, like many dispensaries and cannabis businesses do, it may show that your site's super slow. As long as you're seeing some good metrics up here, you're probably good though. Yeah, see down here, right? Saying that you're terrible, right? But it's because that age gate is kind of delaying some things. But apart from that, right, from actual user data, it shows that your site's fast, and so we're good there. Okay, also mobile experience as well. For this, you can just take your site right like this and just look at it, and obviously, right, the site looks good on mobile. So shout out to LeafBridge that built this website. Looks good. Okay, next bucket is content. So the first thing I look at for content is your location pages. These are going to be pages that have details for each of your physical stores. And this is important because you want to have a page on your site that's basically a more like an elaborated version of your profile. So your GVP shows basic information like your name, address, phone number, some photos, a description, reviews, right? On your actual location pages, though, you want to have more in-depth information about payment methods, about parking, maybe some directions right here, so similar to the actual profile. Products, what products you have at each store. And so these are really important if you have multiple stores. If you have like 5 stores, you want to have a unique location page for each one. And you also want to have each Google Business Profile for each address is linked to those location pages instead of your main website, because your main homepage is not actually the most relevant page in your site for that store. Your location page is. And so in the case of Share, they only have one store, and so this is actually less important. However, they do have a location page here, and also their the profile here, let's see, is linked, I think, to their, let me see here. It is linked to their website. Okay, so that's fine to link to your homepage if you have just one store. What you do want to do, though, is ensure that your homepage has all the information that's required to be useful. So in this case, right, on their homepage, they have some information here. They have products. Obviously, they have FAQs. They have a map. They have, hours, address right there, menu and deals links, reviews, right? So pretty good start. What I do, though, is you can see here on this location page, they have like, payment details, and they have more details about sort of their store, parking, and accessibility, and online ordering, that kind of thing, right? Also kind of the process, right? How to order. So what I would do is I would actually combine this with the homepage. I would actually just add these sections to the homepage, kind of like a section of the homepage which is more about the store and kind of about store details. You don't have to literally copy it over, but you can kind of ensure that you're answering these same questions and sort of presenting the same information on your homepage. And that way, now your homepage will be a comprehensive resource for your store. And that way, when you're linking to it, right, you're showing Google, okay, here's our homepage. This homepage has all the information that someone needs in order to shop at Share Cannabis. So that's what I do there. So bucket number 2 is content. First thing I do here is combine location page with homepage, make homepage a comprehensive resource for the store. All right, simple enough. All right, next thing that you want to do, content-wise, is build out near pages. So these are going to be pages that you're going to be building for cities that are near your main city. And the idea is that when someone in one of those cities looks up dispensary near me, you can rank in the regular organic results. Like I'll show you sort of like, maybe not here, but down here, you can have a page ranking for that city. Maybe, I don't really know a city near Springfield, but still have one ranking for that city down here. And it's just a way you can get more customers, right? You can broaden the geographic area over which you have influence in the search results. Also, those pages can influence AI too, right? They can see the page for that location. And so if someone's looking up in an AI tool, best dispensaries near this area or dispensary near me, they're like, okay, well, actually, maybe they're not in that city, but they're near the city. And so we can recommend them, right? So having a page for each of the cities that are super nearby your main city or your main address that are not your main city can be a great way to expand your actual your influence in search beyond just your city. So what I do for this is I go to AI, actually, as most people do these days, and I'll just type in, give me all cities within 10 miles or less, and then I'll give it your address here, or give it Share's address here. And let's see here. I can't copy that, can I? Hang on, let's see here. Grab that. Here we go. So obviously we're going to ignore, here we go. We're going to ignore Springfield because we're in Springfield. We can see here there's a number of cities that are either like proper cities or they're CDPs, which is a census designated place, which is recognized by Google as a sort of a place, but not really, it's not actually a real city. Still, it's recognized as a separate geo under Google's understanding. And so therefore you want to build content that mentions it. Okay. And so here we go. We have 9 cities, right? Yeah, 9 or 8 cities here that are within 10 miles or less of Springfield. And so if you're, or within our address right here, right? And so if we're right here, if someone is 6 miles away in Riverton, okay, we're a pretty short drive, right? Or Share Cannabis is a pretty short drive. So therefore, we are a viable option for people who are in Riverton. So what we want to do is we want to build pages for keywords like dispensary near Riverton or dispensary near Sherman that are very similar to a location page. But in this case, what we're doing is we're providing, we'll have a map on there with directions, right? I'll show you actually an example. Let's see here. I'll show you one from one of our clients here. So they're actually in Lincoln Park, Chicago. Avondale is a nearby area of Chicago. So we built a page here that keyword's in the heading, but also we have directions here. So we have a map here with directions from that area to our location. Also, this opens up a map where someone can type in their actual location and then get directions to our dispensary, right? Down below, we have our details. So address, phone, hours. We have a bit about us, some content that's relevant to that area. So Avondale in this case. We have content that goes over each of our product categories. So Google knows, okay, if someone's looking up cannabis pre-rolls near me or cannabis vapes near me in that city, and you have a page that says, okay, we have cannabis pre-rolls near Avondale, or for this example, near Riverton, right? Then they know that, okay, we're a good match. So not only are we worth considering to rank in the regular results, but also we could be considered to rank in the main local map pack, assuming that we're close enough, right? So yeah, all that stuff. And also we list other dispensaries, and that way, again, we're giving Google more data points and people more data points about, okay, even if you can't make it to us, here's some other spots that are nearby. Again, just increasing the relevance of the content, okay? And then also we have FAQs here for different questions people might ask about, so cash only, payment, laws, right? And then also we have a couple of geo questions here. So, is your dispensary close to this attraction in your city? So if there's a certain attraction, say like a restaurant, for example, in Riverton, you could say, is Share Cannabis close to XYZ restaurant in Riverton, right? And again, you're giving Google more anchors. And so that way, if someone is near that restaurant when they search, Google knows, okay, well, if you're saying that your dispensary is near that restaurant, so the person who's at the restaurant, they must also be near the dispensary. It's just more ways of getting Google a richer understanding of the geographical area and how your dispensary fits into it. So yeah, I would go ahead and build out near pages for those cities right there. So we'll go ahead and grab these. And I might have to do a separate video on how to build these, because like I said, it's a lot of stuff that, crafting the content, getting the template laid out. It's a whole thing. But just for now, understand that this is an important thing, and we definitely do it here if we're working with Share Cannabis. Okay. Moving along here, the next thing is the menu. So what I want to see is it indexable, and also are there unique descriptions? So many menus operate using an iframe, which basically means that the menu is usable for users on the website, but actually it doesn't create unique URLs. So each product is not actually a unique URL on your website, and therefore that URL cannot be considered part of your website, and it cannot be indexed in Google and ranked for different product related keywords. And for local SEO, this is important because somebody looking up a certain product, like maybe a certain brand of vape, for example, or maybe one pre-roll is called Khalifa Kush, Wiz Khalifa's brand, right? If someone's looking up Khalifa Kush near me, and you have that product, you want to have that product URL indexed, and that way someone might click on your product page and they're like, oh, this dispensary is near me, right? Google's serving them a product page from a dispensary that has that product near them. So if someone's looking up Khalifa Kush near me, you want to have your Khalifa Kush pages indexed, and that way you can capture that traffic and get a visitor from that search. So to check this, what I do is I just put the site into Ahrefs, which is an SEO tool. And we'll go to top pages here. We'll just see if they have pages that are indexed here. And yeah, they do, right? So we have this page right here. This Big Buns flower is ranking for Big Buns strain, number 11. So obviously they have quite a few products that are ranking for different product-related keywords. Again, number 2 for Rough Puff Vape. So that's a good sign. Other thing I look at here is, are the descriptions unique? I'll look at, let's see here. We'll do this one right here. Many dispensaries will, oops, hold on, that's not a good one. Many brands, what they'll do is they'll use the description from the menu platform. So if they're on a certain platform like Jane, which is a dispensary menu platform, Jane provides descriptions for the products on their platform. And so many brands will have that boilerplate manufacturer description on their site too. The issue there is that, like, if you and 1,000 other dispensaries across the nation have that same description on your page, Google will say, why should we rank your page, not someone else's, for that keyword, right? Because these keywords are important at both the national and the local level. And oftentimes, if you can rank at the national level, you can rank at the local level and vice versa. And so point is, you want to have a unique description on each page that's not like a manufacturer boilerplate. And that way Google will rank your dispensary site for that keyword instead of somebody else's. So to check that, I'll just look up this exact product and just see what what other dispensaries have for it. Okay, we have an actual the Jane listing for it. We have, so actually you're number 3 for it, which is good. We'll look at Live Well too. All right, so the first one is kind of formulation. Hold on. Okay, that's different from that one, right? Oh, here we go, right? So actually 30 plus. Yeah, so this actually is identical to the one right here from Live Well. This is a bit different up here. This is, down here they have that written. Yeah, so this is basically identical. So you will want to clean this up. So what I do here, right? You're going to have thousands of products or hundreds of products, and so it's not going to be worth it to write a unique description for every single one. What I do is I look at the top ones that are influencing local discovery. So we're not diving this right now, but you can look in your Google Search Console and see which pages are ranking for the most queries with "near me" in it. If a product page is getting impressions for near me queries, which means that it's showing up when people are looking up this thing near me, so there's people in your area who are looking that up, then you want to optimize those because they're actually driving, or they're getting searched for and looked at by people who are in your area and can actually visit you and buy it from you. And so I'd focus there first and just do those products, maybe like a few dozen descriptions, right? I wouldn't do like hundreds of descriptions. It's just not worth it at scale. But do the highest priority ones, the ones that most influence local discovery and dispensary revenue. Okay. Final thing for content. Let's see. Actually, I'll just say down here. Right. Unique descriptions for products. That's me pages. All right. Moving along. Next thing is blog content. So again, another area where a lot of dispensaries go wrong. They either have no good content or they might have a lot of content and it's either outdated or it can be up to date, but it's not really locally relevant. So you want to have locally relevant blog content that's, again, relevant to your actual market. So what I do here is I look at the state and the city. So Springfield, Illinois, Springfield, right? You want to find cannabis keywords for your state and your city and write about those instead of writing about generic keywords that could apply to anywhere in the nation. So what I do here is I do like maybe you could look up like best pre-rolls, say Illinois, right? We can see here there's volume for this keyword. Not a ton of volume, but enough to make it worth writing about. So you can write an article about the best pre-rolls in Illinois, include a few of the products that you carry at your shop, and now someone who's in Springfield who's looking that up can see, okay, I should find this product, right? And also, okay, it's available at this shop. And so they'll either visit you right off the bat, or they might look up the product. And if you have a product page optimized for that keyword, you can see that, you can see the effect of like how someone can end up discovering and walking, actually visiting your dispensary based on that discovery related search for the best whatever in your city or your state. Let's try edibles. Try edibles Springfield. Okay, not a ton. It's Massachusetts here, so not a ton there. Still, what I would do is I would kind of troll for every single state or city keyword, Illinois or Springfield keyword, for edibles, vapes, flower, pre-rolls, concentrates, whatever the case may be, right? Find all those keywords and then craft high quality content. Typically, it'll be like a listicle, like top 10 best whatever in city or top 10 best whatever in state. Those will be some very high ROI blog posts you can create. So another thing too is place-based listicles. I'll just go that in a second here. So blog content, craft, state, city, plus product content. For example, best pre-rolls in Illinois. Okay. Other thing you can do here with blog content that actually will drive revenue is Sorry, I had a bit of blanked out there for a second. No, other thing that's actually very useful here is crafting listicles for different cities nearby. So the idea here is you're going to be building near pages for cities within 10 miles. But for those that are outside of 10 miles, you can write a listicle about the top 10 best dispensaries in that city, and you can still get some visits from those further away cities. So maybe we could ask, give me cities 10 to 20 miles away, right? All right, here we go, right? So say Pawnee, Illinois, right? We can write an article about best dispensaries in Pawnee, Illinois. And now that article, you're not saying that you're in Pawnee. You're not even saying that you're near Pawnee. So you're not lying to Google about where you are. And so therefore you have an opportunity to rank here. But you can rank for best dispensary, within 20 miles of you. Within 10 miles, you can rank for dispensary near, you or near that area. And then also in your actual city, you can rank in the local map pack for dispensary near me or dispensary Springfield, right? That's the entire stack of local content that you can create, or the things you can optimize, properties you can optimize, your website and your profile, in order to get the most visibility over your entire potential geographic area where you have customers that can actually visit you. So other thing here is craft listicles for nearby cities more than 10 miles away from your address. And again, there you go. So at that point, you'll have the entire thing covered with content. All right, that's everything for content. The last bucket here is authority. So with authority, I won't spend too much time on this because it can go very in depth, very, very fast. But what you want to do here is you want to build links and brand mentions on third-party websites. So either a mention of your dispensary or a link to your website. What that does is it shows that your website and your business are trusted in the area. And so this is one of the biggest things that goes into ranking. Okay, obviously content is very, very important. The profile is very important as well. But once you have that, that optimized and you have the content foundation nailed down, you'll want to spend a lot of money and time building authority. Because if you can get more authority than than other brands in your local area, other dispensaries in your city, you can outrank them in both the map pack as well as or local pack as well as the regular organic results. So with authority, you want to build three things. You want to build you want to build citations, which will be basically listing pages for your business on websites like Yelp, for example, or on even Facebook, cannabis directories, so on and so forth. Basically, like a listing of your actual physical store. You'll have your name, address, and phone number. You also want to build links, which are basically just like a link from another website to your website, and then also a brand mention, which is as it implies a mention of your brand. And so, in order to figure out how many of each thing to build, you want to conduct a citation analysis. To do that, what you can do is put your competitors' addresses into search and see which platforms they have listings on. So Dispensary, Springfield, Illinois. All right, so number one, right, is a high profile. Grab their address here. And right there. Okay, so actually we'll put it in like that. And now we can see different platforms where they have profiles. So they actually have, let's see, they have MapQuest. We have, some of these are just like the address, not the actual place here. Okay, MapQuest, Yelp. That's like not really, that doesn't mention their actual name, so we'll ignore that one. We'll ignore that one. Weed Maps, Yelp again, Breezy HR, Veriheel, Cannabis Promotions, BB, Wary, Nationwide Dispensaries. So the idea here is you want to try to scrape every single citation source or website in these first two pages for the top 3 competitors in your market. So we want to go through. Let's go back here. We want to scrape. Where was that? Hold on. We want to look up the address for each of these top 3 and find every website where they're mentioned. Okay, obviously you exclude ones where it appears twice. You just do it once, but you want to find every citation that these 3 businesses have that's ranking on the first 2 pages. These are the most relevant ones you have to have. And so if you don't have a listing on these platforms, you want to build it immediately. And that's kind of the biggest thing there. So say authority. Do gap analysis and build citations on all platforms / websites showing up in the first 2 pages of results for the top 3 competitors in Springfield. And then for backlinks and brand mentions, for backlinks, what you want to do is you want to plug in the websites for the top businesses in your market and see how many links they have, and then based on that, try to build enough links to close the gap, right? So I won't go into this here because it's a bit of a process, but also these are multi-state operators, okay? And so they're going to have a lot of backlinks where, if you're an operator that's, in 10 different states, you're going to have a much bigger online presence in general than a one-shop dispensary in a single city. And so therefore, we have to do some math to figure out how many links are actually relevant to Springfield that they have. And based on that, how many do we need to build to beat them in this area? It's all about winning this area, right? Winning in Springfield, not winning overall in search, because they're going to have more traffic than you, they're going to have more links than you, et cetera. And so, but generally speaking, you want to look at how can we build more backlinks than our top local competitors, right? So if someone has just a single store like us, but they're ranking above us, and they have, say, 15 backlinks, we want to build 20, right? And so therefore, we want to build, say, 4 a month for 6 months in order to get 24. And therefore, at that point, we've been able to eclipse them in that category. And yeah, Ray mentions as well, it's kind of, I won't go into that too much there either. But anyway, another thing you can do here is just like look at the authority they have. So look up their brand name. So for example, high profile, okay, minus their website. So let's see, high profile. Or actually it's, and this kind of thing, what you can do here is you can look at all results for their business that are not their actual website. And you can look at different placements they've been able to secure. For example, Greenway Magazine, a lot of citations as well. Not incredible stuff here. Here's another placement they got on a Connecticut site as well. They have spots in Connecticut too. But still, you can do different things like this to kind of see. And again, there's a whole list of them, and I can't go into them, unfortunately, in this video. We're already at almost 40 minutes here. There's a number of things you can do to actually investigate how your competitors are building authority, what kind of placements they're securing. Are they getting, listicles placed on other sites that about the top 10 dispensaries and they're mentioning them number 1? How can we get those things too to kind of close that gap on them? And then, yeah, I'll just say, and again, for this analysis, you're looking at how many placements or links and mentions do that are Springfield relevant do each of the top 3 competitors have. And so again, it's a pretty in-depth analysis to figure that out. But still, I kind of showed you a few ways you can do that. All right. Well, we're here almost 40 minutes here. I think I've talked for plenty long. If you made it through, you are a true soldier. But yeah, that's kind of my high-level overview of how I would rank this dispensary higher in Google by focusing on their Google business profile, their content, and also, this should be another thing, their authority. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful to you. I hope you got some frameworks and some ideas you can take away for your own dispensary to rank better and drive more foot traffic. Lastly, if you need help with your dispensary SEO, reach out to me. My call link is down below. We can set up a time to talk about how I can help your dispensary get more foot traffic and ultimately make more money and make more profit. All right, that's everything I have for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time.